in the path of spirituality, the background consciousness is far more important than the external performance of activity. In fact, it is like the driving force. Just like you see a beautiful car, simply the car alone is not enough. There is an engine required there. If there is no engine inside the car can be kept in a showroom, that's all. It cannot move ahead. Similarly, in the path of spiritual life, what causes the humility to arise in the heart of a devotee? The secret can be understood when you read the Srimad Bhagavatam. There is one famous verse. It is in the 5th canto, 18th chapter, 4th verse. It is said that Vadanti Vishwam Kavayas Manasnashwaram Pashyanti Chadhyatma Vidho Vipaschitah Tatapi Muhyanti Tavajamayaya Suvismritam Krityam Ajam Natosmitam. Very, very intelligent prayer. Here it is said, Vadanti Vishwam Kavayaha Sma Nashwaram. Vadanti means they speak with great authority of the Vedic literature. Vadanti Vishwam Nashwaram. This material existence is temporary. Sma means suddenly. They can say with great confidence that the material existence is temporary and cannot give you any kind of happiness. And if you think there is happiness here, it is only your own grand illusion and imagination. You are simply hallucinating and dreaming, that's all. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayaha Sma Nashwaram. Who are the Kavayaha? The learned transcendentalists, scholars, philosophers, rishis, munis. So all these people are called as Kavayaha, very learned people. Those who are Vichakshana, they have the vision to see beyond what is obvious. The conditioned souls see what is visible to their eyes, and they're like moths entering fire. They are charmed by the glitter and glamour of the false material display of beauty and they fall down. Ordinary people. But Kavayaha are learned transcendentalist philosopher scholars. Vadanti Vishwam Kavayaha Smanashwaram Pashyanti Chadhyatma Vidho Vipaschitah. He says, Pashyanti means in yogic trance, they have practically realized this truth. Pashyanti cha adhyatma vidho. In the path of spirituality, by their yogic trance, they have deeply digested this truth. Because they are vipaschit, they are very highly learned in the scriptures, and they have also contemplated and realized it in their lives. Tatapi muhyanti tavajamayaya. They are saying that Tatapi, still, even after doing all these things, O Aja, O unborn Supreme Lord, Tava Maya, your illusory potency is so powerful, so great. Muhyanti, even such great learned scholars and transcendentalists become bewildered. Tatapi muhyanti tavaja maya. Suvismitam krityam. You are such an intelligent Lord that you put all the jivas to wonderment and astonishment by the display of your illusory potency. Suvismitam krityam ajam natosmitam. To such a Supreme Lord like you, I bow down. He's saying, Natosmi. This is Natosmi, bowing down. So, in the very first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Tejo vari mridam yata vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha. It is said. Tejo means fire. Vari means water. Mridam means mud. So Tejo, Vari, Mridam, Yatha Vinimayo means when you take these items of earth, water and fire, they are not going to attract you. But if you combine them in the certain form of a body of a man or a woman or things like that, and then display it in front of the conditioned soul, he will get bewildered. Just like if you have a watercolor box, nobody is going to become allured. But you take it and throw it on a canvas and draw some picture of some man, woman, then people get attracted by it. So the three gunas, they take these three substances of bile, mucus and air, and they mix it, the three gunas, and then they display it in the form of a beautiful man, beautiful woman. Like that. Then the whole material world is bewildered. Not just ordinary, foolish, conditioned souls. He says, even great rishis, munis in this world have fallen down, prey to the display of Maya's illusory potency. Tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo amrisha. Trisargo means upper, middle and lower planetary systems, all are put to illusion. Unless there is illusion in this world cannot go on. This world will come to an end. So, practically what is going on in this world is only illusion only. And therefore it is said, Janmadhyasya yatah anvayat itaradas chartesh abhignya swarat tene brahma hrida ya adi kavaye. And then he says, Muhyanti yat sureha. Muhyanti means bewildered. Yat sureha means even the demigods. Demigods and great personalities in this world are put to bewilderment. Not leave alone the ordinary mass of people who are like two-legged animals. There is no need to talk about them. So great learned scholars, transcendentalists, rishis and munis and learned people in academia and literature, everybody is put into bewilderment in this world. But one should understand, this Maya is created by Krishna. He is the master of Maya. That's why he says, Mama Maya. So, my dear Supreme Lord, the creator of such a powerful Maya, which is keeping all the foolish living entities as well as the learned living entities in this world into bewilderment. So, the beauty is that Maya is created by you and controlled by you. So, let me bow down to you because you deserve the real salutations, because you are the master of Maya. You are Maya Adhish, we are Maya Vash. So those who can get the vision to see this, in the 11th canto there is a verse which says, how beautiful is the bhakti yoga of the Supreme Lord, that you can take the material elements, take wood and you can make Jagannath Baladev Subhadra deities. And take some metal, you can make some Radha Krishna Gaurnita deities. So although you have instructed us to make your form with some 8 material elements, we make your form with material elements. We worship you with material elements. For example, we are offering water, a kerchief, an agarbatti, ghee lamp and all these things. That is also material. We are making your forms with material elements like that. But the result is transcendental. Why? Because you are present in your subtlest spiritual form and you have agreed yourself to manifest yourself through this various paraphernalia and items. And by approaching you with proper spirit and mood of supplication, we are able to transcend the material world with these items. How wonderful it is. That is why, as much as Lord's Maya is very wonderful, even Lord's Bhakti Yoga is very wonderful, because there are no conditions in the path of Bhakti Yoga that Lord puts, except your love. You come with love and I will provide you everything else. Whatever I provide you, that only you give me, that's all. You don't have to do anything. Everything is arranged by me for you. So, unless we are put to wonderment by Krishna's, creation, his illusory potency, his powers, his beauty, his sweetness, his dealings, his activities, if we are not put into wonderment, then our consciousness will not be alert. Our consciousness will be dull-headed. So with a dull background consciousness and a very alert material consciousness, we can go on with the gadi for some time. The spiritual gadi can go for some time. After that, the spiritual gadi will not find any inspiration. Because we can, in the name of spirituality, we can use our body and mind, keeping ourselves bustling with material activity. Why am I calling it material activity? Because many times the spiritual activities are driven by 3 gunas in the early stage of spiritual life. We think I am doing spirituality, but actually the spirituality is mostly a delight that we derive by performing some activities driven by the 3 gunas, and we think I am success in this, success in that. So these can keep us going for some years. But after that, the real substance in spiritual life is the background consciousness that has to awaken. And that awakening of consciousness comes from wonderment of Krishna. If I develop wonderment about, oh, Krishna's Maya is so powerful, big people are falling in this world, so many rishis, munis, scholars and everybody. And who is making them fall? Maya Devi. And who is the creator of Maya and controller of Maya? It's Krishna. And then one becomes eager to know more about Krishna. Then you study the scriptures. The more you study, the more you observe, then immediately such a devotee develops humility in the heart, deep in the heart. Oh, my dear Lord, you are so great. And how insignificant we are and how great you are. So, there is a development of wonderment, there is a development of humility. And that actually can make us approach the Supreme Lord chanting the holy name with great joy, with great wonderment. Just like, for example, there was one village girl who was illiterate. She never went to school. She has grown up at home. The only thing she knows is washing the pots, cleaning the floor, respecting the elders. Anybody guest comes to the house, she will be inside. She will never come out. But then she got married to one city boy, who has done IIT, IIM. But because the girl belonged to a distant relative, they got married. So later on, this boy was working in a very big company. So this girl thought this boy is like God. For her, she considered, I am very insignificant, coming from a very poor and simple family. This boy is my distant relative, belongs to a very rich family and highly educated, working in a big company. She doesn't even know which company he works for and how much big is his position. She knows he is big. So now, just imagine how much respect she will have for this fellow. He's going in big car and thousands of people are saluting him, respecting him. So the jiva has to have such a respect for Krishna. Unless Krishna is like our husband, I am like an insignificant wife with no qualification. That is why Lord is called Satvatampati. So I have seen also wives who admire their husband. They are the happiest family. The happiest family is when wife is submissive and having great adoration for the husband. She is constantly put to wonderment about her husband's greatness and she just thinks how to make him happy. On the other hand, the women who think they are very qualified, and I am also an MP, I have the passion to do my job. And how they deal with their husband, they will treat him like a fig. Similarly, if a devotee thinks, I am this, I have done this, I have done that, very, very proud and boastful in the path of devotion service, that such a devotee cannot respect Krishna. Such a devotee cannot be humble in front of Krishna. Such a devotee is put to wonderment about his own activities, not about Krishna's activities. Then such a devotee, what kind of chanting is it? It is simply a show bottle. It will not carry any substance. Nor can such a devotee very easily escape Maya, because Maya is just waiting to find out. Anybody who thinks they are very great, Maya will prove them small. That is why he is saying, Vadanti Vishwam Kavayaspanashwaram Pashyanti Chadyatma Vido Vipaschitaha. Even the Vipaschit learned personalities who have ascertained that this material existence is temporary and cannot give you happiness, they have preached also, he says. They have preached this to many, many people. Still, tavapi muhyanti tavaja maya. Still they fall prey to the same Maya about which they very heavily preached. It cannot give you, they are telling others that it cannot give you happiness, they themselves are chasing after it. How wonderful is your Maya, my dear Lord. Which is like an invisible rope that keeps all the jivas bound. And I don't want to be bound by that Maya, I want to be bound by your love. I want to be bound by your services. I don't want to be slave of that Maya. I want to be your slave. So, in this way, wonderment about Krishna's greatness and humility at the lotus feet of Krishna, these are very vital aspects of development of the prayerful attitude in the heart of a devotee. And that prayerful attitude will give the disposition what Lord Chaitanya is speaking. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budho kripaya tava pada pankaja stita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. My dear Lord Krishna, some or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up and place me at your lotus feet as one of the millions of atoms. And let me engage in your pure devotion service eternally, non-stop. So this mood is the right mood in approaching the holy name. then the holy name will become eventually offenseless when we chant prayerfully. And that prayerfully chanted, offenseless holy name has the potency to purify the heart very swiftly. And the purer the heart becomes, the more humbler the devotee will be, the more wonderment in the heart of the devotee will increase more and more. And in this way, a time will come when there will be a awakening of the Shuddha Nama, pure name, which is actually name imbued with love, which is what is most dear to Krishna. Krishna awaits to see that arising from the lips of a devotee. At that time, Krishna agrees to become bound by the devotee's love, controlled by the devotee's love. Harinam Prabhu ki. Let's offer our humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, who are just like desert trees, ocean of mercy, full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha krupa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti vaishnava vrindaki Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki